Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of Hey There Overcomer. Y'all like my new countdown? Listen, I'm still putting all the pieces together, so the intro's coming too, but I'm excited, y'all. I feel like I'm finding my rhythm and finding my groove. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. My name is LaTerra Wise. If this is your first time catching this podcast, welcome. Here we talk all things overcoming, healing, purpose, all the things, living a life of joy after the pain and trauma that we've experienced and survived. After survival, there is overcoming. And I am so excited to be here tonight with you all. So let me check the comments. If you know somebody that needs to be here tonight and they're not here, make sure you tag them and share this out for anyone who may need to hear it. We are going to be talking about unmasking tonight, and I'm super excited. So let me see who's here. Andrea. Hey, Miss Charnette. Hello, Jan. Hey, Miss Danette. I am so glad that y'all are here. So, um, listen. So I had a guest that was planned for tonight, and I'm super excited to share her story when we are able to. But she and her husband are sick, so make sure y'all send some prayers up for them, and I'll let y'all know when that episode is rescheduled. But I truly believe that nothing happens by accident, and God is in control of everything, and He orchestrates things. And I kind of had a little nudge that this might happen, so I wasn't caught completely off guard. So tonight I am bringing in a special guest. Y'all have seen her recently, but tonight we're flipping the script a little bit. So let me bring her from backstage.
Hey,
Hey, Andrea.
y'all are stuck with me tonight.
I don't think they mind. I don't think they mind. We had a good time last time. Now, I might be a little nervous since we are flipping the script a little bit.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yes, but I'm excited to share, and I know that you are excited for this. Because you have been on me. As you know, if you caught Andrea's episode, she is the show up and shine strategist.
Yes.
Lucky I don't know what I do with my show up and shine book. Oh, it's over there. I can't get out. But you have one. You have one that I want you to show. So yes, you know she is the show up and shine strategist. Um, and she has been on me because I am not a social media person. I like to do the things to complete the assignments that God gives me, kind of get them out there, and then they just get left. I told her earlier, I wish that God had set it up so that when something was out there in the universe that you needed, you would get a little tingle and magically it would appear on your screen. It doesn't work that way. So, tonight we are talking about my soon to be released devotional, Unmasked. And oh yeah, I have a trailer. So let me show the trailer and then we're going to get into a conversation about the process of unmasking, about how this all came to be, and I'm going to share some goodies with y'all. So I hope you're ready. And if you haven't already shared this out, make sure you do so that we can unmask together. So let me pull up the commercial. Okay, y'all ready? When did you first don your mask? Do you even remember? Or has it been there so long it feels like part of you? The mask was supposed to protect you, but instead, it's been hiding you, hiding your pain, hiding your joy, hiding you. But you were never meant to live in hiding. The moment you decide to remove the mask changes everything. You've suffered long enough. It's time to release the weight, to heal, to breathe. This is your moment. This is your freedom. This is your time to step into who God created you to be. The mask was never your identity. You were made for more.
That was
Yay!
so good.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So yeah. Unmasked, the devotional. And if you know me and you know my story, then you know that uh, this is a long, this is the manifestation of a years long journey. I started writing this back in the late 20 teens. I think it was like 17, somewhere between 17 and 19. There was a lot happening. um, but yeah, I started writing it then. And it started out as a YouTube challenge because I was supposed to be showing up on YouTube a little more. Um, but sometimes we get in our own way. And I think the reason that it is here now is because I've had people like Andrea and like TJ and Farah who have pulled me out of that place of hiding. And so I'm very passionate about this project. This is my this will be my fourth time releasing a book, and this one feels different. Yeah, this one feels different. Um, I think mostly because I have lived, well, I've lived all of them, but this one is a lived experience that brought me to a place of completely embracing all of who I am. And I think that's why the message of Unmasked is so important.
I was going to ask you if the book evolved while you were writing it, or did you stay close to the original version of it?
It did evolve. I think the foundation stayed the same, like the chapters, because it's 31 days, so each day takes you through a different um, barrier
Mm-hmm.
that we commonly come into contact with when we're pursuing purpose. So fear, rejection, jealousy, um, relationships that aren't good for us, whether it's friendships or romantic relationships. It's the procrastination, all of those things. So each of those things we dive into on on every day. So that foundation stayed the same, but the messaging has evolved as Jan said, as I grew. And hey, Tara's here. As I grew and changed
Mm-hmm.
and matured and got closer to God, um, it shifted. So the
Mm-hmm.
messaging, I think, got stronger. I think when I first wrote it, I was coming from a place of, maybe this is, in theory,
Mm-hmm.
this works. But this now is from a place of, I know that this works. And it's a different feeling when you feel like you're partnering with God. Because there are parts where I'm writing and I'm like, and the words are flowing, and I reread it and I'm like, oh, okay, God. Oh, all right.
You're looking at your hand like, where did that come from?
Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, it's been a long process, but it's been a fun process and an enlightening process. And I think even through the process of writing it, I've grown and become more confident in my messaging.
So you said
There
you
was
started this back in 2017, 2019.
hmm
Why the urgency now? What made you say, I got to do this now?
so um, well, the reason it stopped was because life hit me hard. I had lost my grandfather in May of 2017, and
Mm,
that was like my whole foundation
right.
was rocked because he was like my everything.
Everything.
Everybody knew and he wasn't my biological grandfather. He stepped in and he raised me like I was his own daughter. Like he took care of me like I was his own child. And so my mama had to share me with him and my grandma often. But he died unexpectedly.
Mm,
I think I had about a month, maybe two. Um, and so it was a difficult process losing him. And then COVID hit, and I lost my father in law again unexpectedly.
mm.
And then a year later, I lost my grandmother to breast cancer. I think we had less than a month
Wow.
between us actually finding out and her
Mhm.
passing. And I don't know if she knew and just dealt with it on her own or just decided that this was not a battle she was going to fight. Um, but the last day that I spent with her was the last day that she was lucid and actually able to have conversations with me. I was grateful for those moments where for my grandfather I was able to take care of him in the last month. Um, and my grandmother, I was able to have that last day with her.
Wow.
And so yeah, in that grief, it kind of just rocked my entire world because they
Mhm.
were three pivotal and foundational people in my life. And so it's like, okay, now what? Like, where do I find my grounding? And even in that time frame, my mother and I had a um, kind of a falling out. And so it was like everybody was gone. Like it was just you out here, I'm out here in the wilderness all by
Mhm.
myself. Like, Lord, what's going on? And I had my husband and I had my kids, but I didn't feel like I wanted to burden them. Like nobody wants to burden their kids, but I didn't want to burden my husband with like my grief and all of those emotions and things. And so I kind of held it in, and it
Mm,
showed up as my depression and my anger all
mm.
colliding. So therapy, I tell everybody, therapy, Jesus and meds
Do you
saved
feel like
me.
do you feel like you were wearing a mask during that time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Um, I would go out into the world to work. I started the podcast in the midst of my grandfather, that the passing of my grandfather. I
Mhm.
was just trying to push through, and I was just pushing through and plowing through and not dealing with any of the emotions. And so I would show up on camera with a smile, and I'd show up at work with a smile, and I'd come home and just feel like I was crumbling. And then my family took the brunt of that because I was angry.
Mm.
And, um, having my husband and my daughter ask me why, feel my anger
Mhm.
and ask me, why are you so angry or why are you so snappy? And so I know I had to do something. And so
Wow.
therapy started kind of unpacking all of that and actually helping me remove the mask of, no, I'm not okay.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not going to keep smiling through and act like I am. So,
Wow.
so I did that process. And then I got comfortable just being in that place of, okay, I'm healed. I'm good. Well, I'm healing because healing
Hmm.
is ongoing. So I'm healing. I'm good. I'm settled and comfortable where I am. But when you have a call on your life
Hmm.
and when you have a purpose that God has placed in you, uh,
Hmm.
He won't let you stay comfortable because when you were born, He put something in you that needed to be birthed.
Right.
And so that thing that needed to be birthed in my life was getting back to writing, getting back to sharing the journey of overcoming and letting people know that they're not alone and that there is joy on the other side of the trauma that you experience. And if I can't be the light and show people that, then the purpose that he gave me is um, not being fulfilled.
Right.
So I had a reckoning last year, last May, actually no, last April. I joined TJ's League of Extraordinary Water Walkers, and there was a moment when it's like, okay, you need to go live and you need to teach what I've given you. And at the time, it was 31 days of deliverance. And so I shared it with the group so that I would be accountable. And as much as I tried to push the deadline, as much as I tried to be like, God, you sure this is what you want me to do right now? We can't just do it another month. He's like, no. So for 31 days in May, I went live and I shared what God had given me all those years back. And after it, I think the last live that I did, I'm like, I don't know what's coming next, but we'll find out together. And so part of that finding out together was creating the Overcomer Circle membership. And so I created that. And I'm like, God, I don't know what I'm doing with this, but it's in your hands. This is your space. We're going to do what it do. And the other part of that was that unmasked, well, the book, because it wasn't called Unmasked then. It was that the devotional, now that it was done, I had done it live, it needed to be written in its totality.
Hmm.
And so it was supposed to be done by the end of 2024. And I did not do that. I, sometimes we get caught up in the how is this going to happen? And
Hmm.
we take on too many things and we tend to push the purpose that God gives us to the side, thinking that He is going to keep extending grace to us. And in January, mid January, God was like, you got to the end of this month, and then you're going to be outside of my grace, outside of my
Mm.
will, and in disobedience.
Mm.
And that was all I needed. Hey, TJ. Yeah, that was all I needed to get some get right. So I called Andrea and I called Fair and I was like, look, I gotta get this book done in these next 2 weeks. So I need y'all to make sure that I actually get it done in these next 2 weeks. And so the book was written by the end of January, and then all the other things started to flow. So yeah, that was the journey of getting here. It's been a long journey. Um, but it's an exciting journey. It's been exciting.
How would you say the process of writing it from then to now, how would you say that it changed the way you see your story?
Mm, that's a good question. Look at you being all
You're
deep.
obviously not the same person you were when you first started writing it.
I am not. Mm-mm, no. Um. Yeah. I became grounded.
Mm.
in who I was. And um, more confident of the fact that when I think I hear God speak, it is actually God speaking to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I questioned that for a long time of, you know, do I really hear God's voice? Like, I don't feel like I hear God's voice, but
Mm-hmm.
um, this process has allowed me to be more sensitive to the Holy Spirit and taught me that, um, you know, I am as dope as God says I am.
Okay. Yes, you are.
So yeah, it's definitely writing anything is a journey of self-discovery. Like you will not be the same from the beginning of the process to the
Right.
end.
Right.
Like you can't write from a place of truth
Mm-hmm.
and share something with people that is going to transform them without being transformed on your own.
Mm-hmm.
It's just impossible. So
Wow.
yeah, I had to recognize who I was in God, who He created me to be, and it gave me more confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So
You got anything special you want to share with us, LaTerra?
I do. I'm looking at I y'all want a sneak peek of
Really? Is
some
she really
things?
asking us that question?
Y'all want a sneak peek of some things? um so let me first let me talk about tell you exactly kind of what the book is. So the Unmasked Devotional. Um and I guess the name too. Yeah. So my brand started as Woman Unmasked, and over time it shifted. But what God showed me in this process with overcoming and unmasking is because I was struggling a bit with how do these things connect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but unmasking is the process that precedes overcoming.
Mm.
So the mask is what we put on when we're in survival mode, when we're trying to just make it through. The moment that
Mm.
we decide that we can no longer wear that mask, where that mask is doing, we recognize that it's doing more harm than good.
Good.
That moment of reckoning is when we begin the process of overcoming. Because now we're looking at the things that we've been through, the things that the mask was hiding in, and
Mm-hmm.
the things that we thought the mask was protecting us from, the things that were hidden behind the mask that we just pretended weren't there. Now we come face to face with those things when we take the mask off.
Wow.
So once the mask is off, you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you unmask with God and in His presence, and if you take it off and you allow yourself to be vulnerable and completely spiritually naked and emotionally naked in front of Him,
Mm-hmm.
then He'll start to rebuild the pieces. And so, unmasking is what allows you to face yourself and truly get to define yourself. And that's when you begin to overcome.
Wow.
Yeah. So, for 31 days, this devotional takes you through the process of removing the different masks because we don't just wear one mask, we wear a ton of masks.
Multiple. As we take one off, we get another one and put it on.
Yes, yes. It's like the what was the Wizard of Oz, the second one. You remember the second one where the witch had all the different heads and she'd go in the room and change out her head. Looking back at that, that was such a creepy movie. It was so creepy. But yeah, so it's kind of like that. It's like, who am I going to pretend to be today? But when
Mm.
you take the mask off, it's just, who am I? This is who I am. Love me or hate me.
Do you think we
Be
do
what you
that?
got.
Like, do you think we do that consciously? Or do you think we just do it and we don't even realize that we're doing it?
I think we start doing it consciously because we feel like if people don't see the pain and they don't see the hurt and they don't see the things that we're going through, if we can just go through life and pretend things are okay, if we
Hmm.
pretend long enough, um, that things will be okay.
Hmm.
And so we start consciously knowing that and believing that. And then at some point, it just becomes autopilot.
Right. Wow.
So we get to a place where we don't even realize it anymore until it becomes more painful to stay in
Mm.
that place than it does to let it go and try to get to that place of freedom.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yep. Y'all
So
ready?
what you got? What you got? I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look in your screen.
So, I got some goodies in. So for the book release, it was important to me that yes, there is the book, um, that is one layer of healing and breakthrough, and it is a big layer of healing and breakthrough. But then there is a workbook that will accompany it that takes you deeper into the process. It gives you more questions to think about, more action steps, more,
Mm.
um, to help you uncover more layers. And because I am extra,
Are
I
you
proud
really?
I proudly embrace my extra at this point in life.
I wouldn't know what that looks like. So.
Okay. So because I am extra and I don't want this just to be another book that sits on your shelf. I want this to be a step and a key to in the process of your freedom.
Mm.
So beyond the book, there is the unmasked VIP bundle box experience. And so it's a box. Yes, it's a box of goodies that you're gonna get. So you get the workbook, you get the book, the workbook, um, some goodies that I'm gonna show you, some goodies that aren't here yet that we'll get to later. But it also comes with a one-on-one session,
Mm.
a 30-minute one-on-one session, because I want this to actually be healing. And I want this to be a process that you actually go through.
Hmm.
And there's also a, VIP only course that you will only access through the VIP box, but it's a course, um, that dives into unmasking. So there's different layers to the process, and I wanted it to be an experience. So the goodies in the box kind of add to that experience. And so my extra brain is so excited. And Andrea had to be like, okay, man, you're doing a lot.
But I think these ladies, I think they love your lot.
Yes, yes. So this is what, like the first public? I mean, people have seen it, but not like um full camera vibe. So is what the
Wow.
this is what is going to come directly to you. Directly to your box, to
Gorgeous.
your
Gorgeous.
mailbox, to your
Gorgeous.
doorstep, and usher you into the unmasked experience.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna show y'all the inside because the inside, I mean, the inside is, as I said, I'm extra. So the inside,
You want them to be surprised somehow.
I do. Yes, you
Yeah,
want it surprise. Yes. So,
absolutely.
so of course you get the box, and in the box, of course, you have a book. You have a workbook. And of course, you have a
Yes.
journal
Yes. Yes.
to keep your thoughts to actually do the work. And y'all know me, y'all know I love some homework. So, a beautiful place for you to do that homework. And of course, if you have a beautiful place to write, you need something beautiful to write with.
Ooh, baby.
And let me tell you, it writes so smoothly. It's so good. It's so good. Like I'm so glad I ordered extra so that I have enough for myself. But yes, I love a good pen, and that one's just so good.
It just
And
glides.
so this bag is going to be full of goodies to add to the experience. Everything hasn't come in yet, but so my favorite brand of highlighters
Hmm.
is Mr. Pen. So everybody gets a sample of the Mr. Pen set
Nice.
because it's so good. Like they're the best, and they're like really good Bible highlighters. They don't. Um,
Bleed.
it's like, can we order extra pens?
Did
Oh,
who said that?
Jan,
Oh, she needed for all those notes that she takes.
right? Yes, Jan might need some extra pens.
And you need to send her journal needs to be like this thick.
Yeah. So in addition to that, oh yeah, but I was saying the Mr. Pen, you can write it that like they highlight your Bible and they don't bleed through. So that's what I love about them. And they have like the little transparent note
Hmm.
cards. So if you
Hmm.
don't want to write in your book, you can put the little sticky note over it and write your notes on top. Do your circling and everything on top
Just
so you don't mess
extra.
up your
Just
pages.
extra.
I mean, extra's good.
But we love it. We love it. We love it.
Yes. So there's also going to be, they were supposed to come today. I'm so upset that my proof didn't come, but there are custom affirmation cards that are exclusive to the VIP box. They will not be, and well, yeah, the journals, the affirmation cards, the mug, because you know I love a good cup of coffee,
Hmm.
good cup of tea. Yes, coffee. Coffee is my fuel. So all of those custom items will only be available inside the VIP box. They will not be available when I do release merch for the brand. All of
Hmm.
that is only included in there. So the affirmation cards will be here tomorrow. See, I might get a little peek of those if you follow me on my social media accounts. You might get a little peek of those tomorrow. And so, one of the other things I have like wonderful people in my circle. So, my good friend Mina of Stir and Mixes, we will have
Ooh.
a candle from her collection. All of them smell so good. Like it
Hmm.
was so hard deciding which one to get, but I think everybody's gonna like the one that we get. Like you can't go wrong with
Right.
anything from their collection. So
Exactly.
one of those will be in there again to set the atmosphere
Nice.
when you're getting into your healing. And then
Hmm.
my baby, who has her own skin and hair care brand, has created this beautiful, special, um, limited edition body oil
Mm.
just for us because you know
Mm.
when you take the mask off you want that glow.
Yes. Yes.
So she has created a product exclusively for the box, and I'm so happy for that I get to share um her lane of genius, her
Mm.
brilliance with everyone who gets the box. And then the last thing that I have that I'll show you tonight, this is like the Willy Wonka golden ticket. So for everyone who orders their VIP box, you'll have this inside, this golden ticket, and it's got a QR code that gives you access to all of the extras that come with it. So there'll be a community exclusively for Unmasked that you'll be able to join,
Mhm.
and that gives you access to schedule your one-on-one and access to the exclusive VIP Unmasked course. So yeah, so that's your golden ticket, like the Willy Wonka golden ticket, but everybody gets one
I
as
know
long as you order
every
your box.
I know every woman that is watching this, and even if there are any men watching, you say, I want to get this for my wife, for my girlfriend, for my boo thing. I know everybody's watching it is so excited about it. I mean, we can tell how passionate you are about it, but each and every item that you've shown us, oh my gosh. Like you were very intentional with
Yes.
choosing every item to go in the box, thinking of every woman that would open that box.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, I want it to be an experience. It's not
Mhm.
just, this is not just a book for me. I'm not one of those people who just put something out there just to have something out there.
Right.
If God don't tell me to do it, then I'm not gonna do it.
Mhm.
And sometimes when he tells me to do it, I might be a little delayed doing it. Ah, but yeah, we're working on that. Yeah, we're working on that. So it's it's an intentional journey that I want people to take because
Mm.
I know because I've done the work
Right.
that's in it. And so
Right.
I know the power of the work that's in
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What message do you hope that echoes the loudest from the book and the experience?
That life is so much better when you take the mask off.
Mm.
One of the things that um, the messages that God gave me is like, or the analogies, it's like when you're wearing a mask and God is looking for his child in the earth, and he's looking for your face, and he's looking
Mm.
for your gifts, and he's looking for your purpose. But you're wearing this mask pretending to be somebody that you're not. So he can't recognize his child.
Wow. Wow. That's kind of deep.
I told you, God. I was like, okay, God.
Whoo, that's kind of deep.
Yeah.
Mm. 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 Mm.
It makes
Mm.
I get emotional thinking about it because I as much as I love, you know, what is in the book, I want it means more to me to see that the people's lives, to know the lives that will be changed
Mhm.
through this.
Mhm.
To know that if when you open this book and you go through each day, you will not be the same from the beginning to the end.
Wow. Wow. Talking about the process of going through the book, how did you know that you were done with the project? Some writers, they want to keep adding more and more and more and more. What helped you to know when it was completed?
Ah, hmm. I like part of me wants to say, if I'm honest, I don't know that it's completed, but no. Um, I think just I got to a place where I think at any time I write, if I get to a place where I feel like I'm just adding words to add words,
Mhm.
one of the things when I first started writing that kind of was a sticking point and a like, I don't know if I could do this was, all we look at all the books, the New York Times
Mhm.
bestsellers and all of those books that are huge.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I can't write that many pages.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure at some point I can, but
Right.
like, at the beginning, that was my thought process. I'm like, how am I supposed to write all of that?
Mhm.
But I got to a place where I'm like, I don't want to write just for the sake of writing, just to
Right.
have words.
Right.
So, God, when the message is finished, just let it be done.
Mhm.
And so that's where it is, and that's
Mhm.
how I got to the place where I was like, okay, it's done,
Mm.
and it is actually like done, except for like the table of contents. It's like formatted.
Oh, that table of contents.
Yes. Oh, yes. But the process, it's a process, but it is a rewarding process because I know what's coming at the end of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And some people have seen a sneak preview of the actual inside of the book, and
Mhm.
it is beautiful.
Mm. It is beautiful.
um, and that all was like the whole design of everything was just God.
Because God breathed.
God breathed, yes. Because yeah, I am so nitpicky about things, and I will pick, especially with myself, and I know I'm not the only one, that we are our own worst critics. But
I wouldn't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
hmm, maybe we need to go back to a couple weeks and see if that message is the same. But yeah, it it is beautiful. Like when I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I am comfortable saying it is this is good. And that's part
Mm.
of me taking that mask off, of being able to embrace the fact that what I
Mm-hmm.
do well
Yeah.
because God gave me the ability to do it well.
Yeah.
And it's not bragging to embrace your gifts
Right. No, it's
if your
not.
boast is in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not you saying, "Oh, I look at what I did
Mm-hmm.
by myself. Ain't nobody help."
Self-made.
Yes. Uh, and I talk about that in one of the chapters too. Um, but knowing that you've partnered with God and that
Mm-hmm.
God allows you to have the gifting to do what you do, it is humbling,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a beautiful feeling to know that God found me worthy enough to bring this to
Mm-hmm.
the earth.
To use you as a vessel.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If you can write a letter to who you were before you started writing about the writing process, what advice would you give yourself?
Mm. About the writing process?
Yeah, if you were to write a letter to the person that you were before you started the writing process about the writing process, what advice would you give?
Mm. Don't think, just write.
Mm.
There's
That's
a
hard.
It is. It is.
That's
It's very
hard.
hard because I think when I first started writing, I wanted to write and edit at the same time,
Hmm.
but it's disrupting the flow. And there is a flow between the Holy Spirit and you that happens when you write and when you're operating, whatever it is that you're operating in your purpose, whatever that looks like.
Hmm.
There is a flow between the Holy Spirit and you in that creative process. And if you keep trying to edit and correct and fix along the way, then you're going to miss something. You're going to forget something that you want to put on paper, and you're going to disrupt the process and make it longer and make it harder for yourself.
You know, I that probably works for most people. And I know that there's not too many people that truly understand how my brain works. But I can't, for me, during my
Mm-hmm.
writing process, I can't move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I can't move forward unless it's just right. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not like publishing right,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't I can't pass that point until I fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's interesting. But I've learned to embrace my idiosyncrasies.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to embrace that not everybody's going to get me,
Right.
and I have to do what works for my brain. But then he always sends people
Mm-hmm.
that,
He always sends somebody to fill in the gaps.
hmm,
That's how I know no one can say that they are self-made,
right, exactly.
because there is nothing great that is created
Hmm.
alone.
Wow. You know what I find to be so, like, just phenomenal is that we're sitting here talking about us as authors. Now, for you, this is not your first go round. And I've been in an anthology before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even with the books that you've written before,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is your baby. Like this is something special. There's something special about this one. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because this one feels complete. The first book, the Art of Overcoming, is the first book I wrote solo,
Mm,
and um, for what it needed to be in the time, I know
hmm
why. I know why it had to come out when it did, because the messaging of overcoming that I have, that God gave me,
hmm
is something that now is a bigger conversation
hmm
than when I wrote the book.
hmm
And so the way that I am, it's like God knows that I'd be like, okay, well, did I get influenced by this person or that person?
Right,
Like, so for me, it had to come out so that my messaging has history.
right.
And for the people who needed it at that moment, it reached them.
Mm,
But it didn't feel like a complete work.
right.
This feels complete.
hmm Wow.
So, um, so yeah, this feels complete. Since y'all are here, maybe since it's pulled up on my screen, maybe you get a little snippet.
Ooh. Well, ask them, do they want the snippet? Do y'all want it? If y'all want a snippet, then you got to say yes in the chat.
Mm,
I know I want a snippet.
I mean, if y'all want a snippet, I can give you a little snippet.
A little something, something.
Oh, hold on. I see my sis has a question in the other comment section. Oh, okay. So should I answer my good sis's question first, or should we do the snippet first? What you think?
Answer the question. Answer the question, then we go into the snippet. Leave them with the
Okay.
snippet.
All right. Okay. So, does the book help identify women who are wearing a mask? Can you tell who is wearing a mask? Mm. When you get to the place of healing, you can.
Mm-hmm.
When you fully embrace yourself, you can tell
Mm-hmm.
when someone is wearing a mask. Um, but that doesn't mean it's your job to point it out.
Right. Right.
It means that if God allows you to see it and He allows you to speak into their lives, then you speak to the healed version of them
Mm-hmm.
that exists beyond that mask.
Mm. Oh, that's really important that you mentioned that. Sometimes we want to talk to the person that they were, and we want
Mm-hmm.
to keep bringing up who they were and what
Mm-hmm.
they did, and that is so, oh, that's so good that you said speak to the person that they are or they're becoming. That's
Mm-hmm.
really good. It's really good.
Yeah, because that's what God does with us.
Right.
He speaks to the finished version.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when He's calling us to do an assignment, it's from a place of, I've seen the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to speak to the finished work.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. Snippet, 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 snippet.
Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me clarify. Part two of the question.
Oh.
I meant for women themselves, but don't know they're wearing a mask or are masked. So yeah, actually, yeah, I'll read the introduction. That actually that allows Yeah. So the snippet will be from the introduction. And I think that might answer that question. So you ready? Hold on, let me get my stylus so I can easily move around my screen.
I feel like I need a an unmasked mug with a cup of tea. I want to put my
Okay.
candle on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And the unmasked playlist. That's gonna be in there
Oh,
because music,
yes.
yes, music speaks to the soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So the introduction. When did you first don your mask? Do you even remember? Or was it so early on in life that the
Mm,
mask feels like your true identity? To unmask means to expose the true character to expose the true character of or hidden truth about something or someone. For many, the
mhm,
idea of unmasking is terrifying. I know that fear all too well.
mm,
The fear of being found out,
mm,
believing that if my mask was removed, if I was truly seen, my life would fall apart. I didn't realize how wrong I was until the mask started suffocating me. I thought I needed it to survive, but in reality, it was keeping me bound.
mm,
This devotional is designed to help you break free from the need to hide behind a mask. But before we dive into the daily devotionals, you need to understand why you started wearing the mask, how it has kept you bound, and what is waiting for you beyond it. When we experience painful or shameful moments in life, there is a natural inclination to retreat and hide. But because we can't physically disappear, we do the next best thing. We put on a mask.
mm,
We smile and act like life is wonderful, even when we're falling apart inside.
mhm,
We lash out in anger when deep down, all we want is for someone to see we're hurting. We pretend to be confident when in reality, we feel unworthy and unseen.
mm,
My mask was perfection. I wanted everyone to believe I had it all together. I thought that if I got straight A's in school, if I went to church, if I worked harder than
mm,
everyone else,
mhm,
people would believe I was fine. But I wasn't fine. Underneath the beautiful, glittery, sparkling mask, I was depressed, lonely, and broken.
mm,
I drank to numb the pain. I jumped from bed to bed looking for connection,
mm,
if only for a moment. I thought I was safely hidden behind my mask,
mm,
but I was slowly disconnecting from the woman I was created to be. The mask we wear is in direct conflict with who we truly are. We
mm,
tell ourselves the mask is protection, and for a moment, maybe it is. But over time, it stops being a shield and becomes a prison. The mask doesn't heal your wounds, it
mm,
just hides them.
mm,
The longer you wear it, the heavier it becomes. Each day, it takes more effort to pretend, more energy to uphold the illusion, and more strength to carry the weight of what you're hiding. Eventually, it becomes more work than it's worth. When the pain behind the mask becomes too much to bear, you realize something. The mask is no longer serving you. It never did.
mm,
When that moment of reckoning comes, you have a choice: stay hidden and suffocate, or remove the mask and breathe.
mm,
The moment you decide to remove the mask, you will feel a flood of emotions: excitement, fear, anticipation. You are about to step into something new. You are about to expose the real you, but you might also wonder, who is the real me?
mm. Who is the real me? You know, when you said the mask doesn't heal your wounds, it
Hmm.
just hides them. If only we if only we could know that when we go to pick up the mask and put it on. But thankfully for
Hmm.
you, you've written this book so that those that come, and get it now,
Hmm.
we can save them from that.
Yeah, yeah.
The world is just a better place with you being in it, LaTerra.
Thank you.
Thank you for pouring your heart and your soul into Unmasked. I can't wait to get a copy in my hands.
Don't, you're not going to make me cry tonight, ma'am. So, if you want to get your copy, you can go to womanunmasked.com. You can learn all about the book, the workbook, the VIP experience. And again, because, accessibility is important to me, if if the VIP package is not fully in your budget right now, then there are options. So, because healing, it's important to me that healing is accessible.
Yes, yes. Before we go, I want to get a selfie with you, and if you could put unmasked, put it back up again, because I know that we have friends out there that like to screenshot us, and so y'all go ahead and grab this screenshot and make sure that you share it and let everybody know just how amazing tonight was, and let them know about this amazing product. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right, I got mine. I hope you got yours.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for coming and sharing in this conversation with me. You have been there for me in this birthing process of this book, and so I am grateful that you are here. I wish my fairy could have been here, but
I know. But she's
soon,
here. She's
soon she
here.
is here.
She's here.
Yes,
She's here. You know
soon.
how they say Mikasa Sukasa?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Okay.
that this makes sense, but during my process I always told you that you were like my doula.
Mm-hmm.
So me doula, you doula. You know
Oh
what I'm
goodness.
saying.
Yes, yes. Okay. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope that this episode has blessed you, inspired you, given you the push to go out and do what God is calling you to do, no matter how long it's been since you started. It's never too late to finish, and God will be with you in the process. So, again, if you want to get your copy of Unmasked, go to womanunmasked.com and yeah, get your copy, share it, buy one for a friend so y'all can heal together. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.